Good morning students, Sairam. Myself Sridevi Rao will be continuing with the second lesson, Life Processes in Living Organism, Part 1. Okay, we had already studied about aerobic respiration and the three steps of it, glycolysis, TCA cycle and electron transfer chain, and we learned about anaerobic respiration, and we saw that is how from carbohydrate we get energy to the two processes, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration we learned. And we learned about how we get energy from proteins, lipids, etc., and why vitamins, water, fibers are necessary, that also we had learned. Now coming to the next part, what is in today's session is we are going to learn about cell division. What is meant by cell division? Cell division is one of the very important properties of cells and living organism. Okay, it is one of the very important properties of cell. Why is it important? Because due to this property only, a new organism is formed from existing one. Okay, first point is why cell division is important, because from this property only a new organism can be formed from the existing one. A multicellular organism grows up. Any growth is due to cell division, and emaciated body can be restored. That means the body which is very thin, loss of fat. Okay, when that type of body, they can be restored only with the help of cell division. So why cell division is important? It is important because a new organism can be formed from the existing one. A multicellular organism grows up with the help of cell division, as well as the emaciated body can be restored. That means body which has lost all its muscles, okay, and very thin, they have lost all their fats. That type of body can be restored with the help of cell division. Okay, now coming to the next part, there are two types of cell division, that is one is mitosis and second one is meiosis. What are the two types? One is mitosis cell division, second one is meiosis cell division. What is mitosis? Where does this mitosis cell division occur? Mitosis cell division occurs in the somatic cells and stem cells. What is meant by somatic cells and stems? We learned the somatic and stem cells last year in 9th standard. What are these? Somatic cells means the cells, all other cells other than the reproductive cells are called as somatic cells, and stem cells are the parent cell. From this cell, different cells can be produced. Okay, so these are some mitosis occur in which cells other than the reproductive cells. It occurs in the somatic and the stem cells, and meiosis occur in germ cells. Germ cells means reproductive cells. For meiosis, for reproduction, which division is needed? Meiosis. Okay, for other multiplication of cells, for growth of the body, for all these, mitosis is needed. We'll see this in detail. Okay, now before any cell, any type of cell division, either mitosis or meiosis, the cell doubles up its chromosome number present in the nucleus. First you have to know the structure of the cell. In a cell, you all know, in the middle there is a nucleus, and inside the nucleus there are chromosomes. We learnt this in 9th standard. The chromosomes which carry the hereditary material from the parent to offspring, they are the chromosomes. Okay, so before any type of cell division, what happens to the chromosome number? It doubles up. Okay, that means if it is 2n, it is doubled up to 4n. That means we learned last year itself, we have 23 pairs, so that will double up during cell division. Okay, after that, a pair of each type of chromosome is present always in 2n condition. Always a chromosome, we learnt it will be present in pairs, whereas single chromosome of each type is present in n condition. What is 2n? That means diploid. Always it is present in diploid condition, double. But so the single chromosome of each type is present in n condition, that means haploid. Haploid means single condition, and their structure is shown in the figure. So normally they are found in pairs, that is 2n. Okay, and the single chromosome structure, that is n structure, is this. We had learned this last year. This is a single chromosome, that is N chromosome. The top block, that is your P arm. The middle second block is the centromere. Okay, the structure of chromosome, we will revise what we had learnt last year. The top is the P arm, the middle is the centromere, and the third block is your Q arm, and last block is DNA. Okay, so P arm, centromere, Q arm, and DNA. This is the N structure. So like this, double pairs will be present during cell division. Okay, now we will start with the first cell division, which is mitosis. Where does this mitosis, somatic cells we learnt already. Somatic cells and stem cells divide by mitosis. Mitosis is completed through two main steps. What are the two main steps of mitosis? One is karyokinesis. What is karyokinesis? That means nucleus will divide into two. Nuclear division. And cytokinesis, first one is karyokinesis where nucleus divides, and second one is cytokinesis where the cytoplasm itself divides into parts. Okay, it can be two parts. In meiosis there are four parts. So in mitosis there are two steps. One is karyokinesis and second one is cytokinesis. Karyokinesis means nuclear division. What is nuclear division? The nucleus divides into parts, two parts. Okay, and cytokinesis means the cytoplasm itself divides into division. Thus division of divides into two parts. So what are the two steps? One is karyokinesis, another one is cytokinesis. Okay, now karyokinesis, that is nuclear division, is completed in four steps. Okay, what are the four steps of karyokinesis? One is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. What are the four phases? Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So this is very important. We will learn one by one all the four steps today. Okay. What is prophase? What happens in prophase? What happens in metaphase, anaphase, and telophase? We will learn in detail. Okay. In prophase, first itself we learned before the prophase starts itself, the chromosome number doubles. Is or no? So in prophase what happens? The condensation of basically thin thread-like chromosomes starts. Okay, the chromosomes are thin, long structures. They will start condensing, and due to this they become short and thick, and they start to appear along with their pairs of sister chromatids. That means they will become pairs now. They will become short and thick, and they will appear with their pairs of sister chromatids. They will appear with their similar to sister chromatids, means which are similar to them. They will start pairing and they will become thick and short. And there are structures in the cell organelles which are called as centrioles. The centrioles duplicate. That means it becomes two. One centriole become two, and each centriole moves to the opposite poles of the cell. Okay, it becomes centriole which is one will become two, duplicates, and centrioles duplicate, and each centriole will move to the opposite poles of the cell. Then after that, the cell nuclear membrane and nucleolus will start to disappear. Okay, and when I show you the figure, you will understand. You can see here. See, inside the middle round, there are chromosomes which have become short and thick, and they are in pairs. Okay, you can see them. Then the nucleolus is shown in the last. That nucleolus starts to disappear. The nuclear membrane, you can see the nuclear membrane also. That also will slowly start disappearing. And the centrioles, which is the first they marked, the centrioles which will start moving to the opposite poles. Okay, what all the first step? The chromosomes become thick and short, and the nuclear membrane and nucleolus starts disappearing, and the centrioles will duplicate and will move to the opposite poles. This is what this happens in prophase. Now coming to the next is metaphase. So already the chromosome is becoming thick and short, and they have become pairs. Okay, and their nuclear membrane and nucleolus starts disappearing, and the centrioles are moving to the opposite pole. This was the prophase. In metaphase, the nuclear membrane completely disappears. Okay, what happens in metaphase, the nuclear membrane completely disappears. We learned that, we saw the nuclear membrane which is going to disappear in prophase. Now it is completely disappearing in metaphase. Okay, then the chromosome complete the condensation and becomes clearly visible along with their sister chromatids. What happens to the chromosome? They are, which was a little thinner structure, becomes, the condensation is completed and they will become very visible. They will become clearly visible along with their pairs of sister chromatids. In pairs they will be arrayed, and they will, and the nuclear membrane completely disappears. This was the second step. Then all the chromosomes are arranged parallel to equatorial plane. That is the central plane. All the chromosomes will come and arrange in the middle, in this equatorial plane of the cell. Okay, and I'll show you the figure. Then special type of flexible protein fiber, which is called as the spindle fibers, are formed between centromere of each chromosome and both centrioles. Okay, so what was the first step? The nuclear membrane completely disappears, and the chromosomes will become, they are clearly visible, they become thicker, and they are in pairs with the sister chromatids. Was the second step. And the third step is, what is that? All the chromosomes will be arranged in parallel to equatorial plane, that is in the middle part of the you can see there, in the central plane of the cell. Then the fourth step is special type of flexible protein fiber, that is spindle fibers, are formed between I told you centromere, between the centromere and the centrioles. The centrioles are already moved to the opposite poles. The centromere is in the middle of the chromosome. We had already learned. So the between two chromosomes, the middle of the chromosome, there is the centromere. You can see here. See, there is the centrioles are moved to the opposite poles, and the dotted lines are the spindle fibers. You can see the lines across, that is the spindle fiber, and you can see the chromosomes all are arranged in the middle in the equatorial plane. So again I will repeat what happens in metaphase. The centrioles, okay, so the centrioles which have already moved in the prophase to the opposite poles, from there the spindle fibers form in the middle of the centromere. You know, the middle of the chromosome is called a centromere. So it is attached to the centromere of the chromosomes, and the spindle fibers are formed, and between centrioles and the centromere, through the centromere it will come down, and the spindle fibers, you can see thread like spindle fibers formed, and all the chromosomes which are in the pairs will be arranged in the equatorial plane, in the central plane of the cell. Understood metaphase? Now what happens in the next phase? It is the anaphase. In anaphase, the centromere split. Centromere, what is centromere, children? It is the middle part of the chromosome, isn't it? The centromere divides into two parts. Okay, the centromere split, and thereby sister chromatids, it is called a chromosister. The chromatids which are split up are called as sister chromatids of each chromosome separate, and they are pulled apart in opposite directions with the help of spindle fiber. Suppose chromosomes are, chromosomes, I told you, it is arranged in the equatorial plane. What happens, in the middle of the chromosome is called as the centromere. That divides into two parts. So one part goes up and one part goes down. So when it is pulled apart in the opposite direction, the spindle fiber, you can see here, the chromosome split, and thereby the sister chromatids of each chromosome separate, and they are pulled apart in opposite directions with the help of spindle fibers. The spindle fibers pull one set of sister chromatids up and one set of sister chromatids down. Okay, separated sister chromatids are called as daughter chromosomes. They are called as daughter chromosomes. They are split up and down. I told you the spindle fibers, they pull it up and down, and they are called as daughter chromatids, chromosomes. The chromosomes being pulled appear like bunch of bananas because they are pulled from both the sides. They are called as they look like bunch of bananas. In this way, each set of chromosome reach at two opposite poles of the cell. Okay, what happens now? I'll repeat now. What happens, that is already in metaphase, they are arranged in the center, the chromosomes. In anaphase, the spindle fibers will start pulling the chromosomes, and the centromere divides, and one part of the sister chromatids goes up and one part of it comes down. And when they are pulled up, which one pulls? The spindle fibers, and the centromeres divides into two parts, and they look like bunch of bananas. So one set of daughter chromosomes goes up, and one set of daughter chromosomes come to the opposite poles. Both reach the two different poles. You can see here. See here, the spindle fibers are pulling the chromosomes, and the centromere divides. You can see half of the chromosomes goes down and half of the sister chromatids goes up. Each one is divided into two parts, and one half goes up and one half comes down. This is the anaphase. Okay. Now coming to the last stage is the telophase. The chromosomes which have reached the opposite poles of the cell now start to decondense. When they come to the opposite poles, when they reach the opposite poles, what happens? They start to decondense. That means they become now start becoming thinner, and to which they become thin like and thin thread like and invisible. They become like how they were before the prophase, become thin and long. They start becoming thinner. The nuclear membrane is formed around each set of chromosomes. So when in prophase they disappeared, so they will start coming again. Nuclear membrane will start coming, and then the nuclei, thus the two daughter nuclei are formed in each cell. So the nucleus will be divided and two small nuclei formed in both the daughter cells. The nucleolus also appears in each daughter nucleus. Okay, so nucleolus also appears in both the daughter cells. Then spindle fibers completely disappear. The spindle fibers which were pulling the chromosomes, that as completely disappears. In this way, karyokinesis completes, and then cytokinesis begins. Okay, so we can see the telophase. You can see the figure here. See both the sister chromatids both have gone to the opposite poles, and you can see the nuclear membrane has already come. It has made two daughter nucleus has come here. Two nucleolus are present. Centrioles are moved to the opposite poles. You can see there are two daughter daughter cells, chromatids formed from this telophase. Okay. So let us revise what we learned. We learn about cytokinesis and meiosis in the next lecture. So what we learned about what we last started about the mitosis. We learned that mitosis occur in somatic and stem cells. We learned it that somatic means all other cells other than the reproductive cells, and stem cells are the main cells from which many other different cells can be produced, and meiosis occur in and germ cells. We learned the stages. First one, under mitosis there are 4 stages. One is the prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Under prophase, what happens? Before prophase itself, the chromosome number, which was 2n, would have become 4n. So the chromosomes will start becoming shorter and thicker. Okay, will start condensing, and slowly the nuclear membrane and the nucleolus will start disappearing, and the centrioles will duplicate, will become 2, and they'll slowly start moving to the opposite poles. Okay. In metaphase, what happened? In metaphase, the spindle fibers are formed between two centrioles and the centromere of the chromosome, and all the chromosomes have become thicker and shorter and clearly visible with the sister chromatids arranged in the equatorial plane. in the central plane of the cell. Okay, once they are arranged like this, then they with the anaphase starts. In anaphase, the sister chromatids, the chromosomes will separate. Okay, half of the sister chromatid will go up and half they will pull each other, and half will go up and half will come down. You can see that, and they look like bunch of bananas. So in this, so the half set has come down and the half is gone up to the to the cell. Then after that, slowly the ones they will form two nuclear membrane, and the sister chromatids go to the opposite. You can see here telophase. They will go to the opposite poles, and two sets of daughter nuclei. There were two daughter nuclei. So daughter nucleus is formed here. Nuclear membrane is formed. The chromosomes are divided into two parts in telophase. Okay, children. So we learned today about four phases: prophase. Okay, only karyokinesis we have finished now. In the next lecture, I will start with, I will revise this four phases, and then we will go to cytokinesis as well as meiosis. Hope you all understood. You can go revise this lesson. Be clear. Okay. Then we will see the next in the next video. Thank you, children.